Hello friends, this is our weekly jewelry rendezvous. Every Saturday we meet up and have a little 10-minute or so conversation where we share our passion for all things jewelry. I'm Sophie from SMG, and today I wanted to do things a little bit differently this time. I know we are a community of curious minds, so I thought I would give you a quiz for a change and go through some fun facts about Valentine's Day. So what you need will be some paper, unless you have a mind that can actually remember all the answers that you're gonna give to my questions. Otherwise, pen and paper or laptop or tablet, whatever suits. The way I'm gonna do it is after each of the questions, I'll give you 15 seconds and then I'll share with you the answer. And then we'll move on to the next question. There will be 12 questions in total. So let's go and try that. I think you will enjoy that. So ready? Okay, first question, yes or no answer. Is Valentine's Day celebrated in every country and every culture around the world? Yes or no? You've got 15 seconds. Ready? Okay, so that was a no. It's not celebrated in every culture and every country around the world. But a lot of countries have their own variations depending on their traditions. And I might go through some of them a little bit later, maybe at the end of the quiz. So let's move on to the second question. Is Valentine's Day a public holiday? You've got again 15 seconds. Yes or no? So the answer on this one is a big no again. Moving on now to question number 3. Is Valentine's Day a Christian feast day? Yes or no? And again, you've got 15 seconds. Did you get the answer? So the answer is again a no, but this one there is a little caveat to it this time, that it's still being celebrated as a Christian feast day by traditionalist Christians around the world. And some of you may know that we define the traditionalist Catholics as pre-Second Vatican, so pre-1969. Moving on to question number 4. Has Valentine's Day always been celebrated on the 14th of February? Yes or no? Again, you've got 15 seconds. Did you guess? The answer on this one is a big yes. It's always been on the 14th of February. Moving on to question number 5. What is the origin of Valentine's Day? So this time it's a multiple choice question. You've got the choice between first choice, ancient Rome, second choice, the Normans, third choice, the UK. Where does Valentine's Day originate from? Ancient Rome, the Normans, or the UK? I think I'm giving you 15 seconds. So what was your guess? Was it Normans? That's false. Was it the UK? That's false again. That was ancient Rome. So let me tell you a bit more about the origins of Valentine's Day, at least what we think they are. One is a festival that occurred annually between the 13th and 15th of February. That was more of a matchmaking lottery where young men would draw names of women from a jar and couples were formed. And the second event was when the Emperor of Rome, at the time of the 3rd century post BC, executed 2 martyrs, both named Valentine. So now you know, and now we're moving on to question number 6, which is, has Valentine's Day always been associated with romantic love? A yes or no answer. And you have 15 seconds. So what was your guess? It's a no. It's only been since the 14th century that we associate Valentine's Day with romantic love. It's with courtly love and this romantic idea that was created really by the British composers Chaucer and Shakespeare, that now we associate Valentine's Day to that romantic love. So what's your score so far? Are you getting all the answers correct? Let's move on to the second part of the quiz. So question number 7. When did the first Valentine card appear? That's a multiple choice question. You have first choice, ancient Rome, second choice, Middle Ages, third choice, the 19th century. When did the first Valentine's card appear? Was it in ancient Rome? Was it during the Middle Ages? Or was it in the 19th century? I'm giving you 15 seconds. So what was your guess? It was ancient Rome. Again, a legend has it that Valentine was condemned to be executed because he didn't want to convert to Roman paganism. But before that, while he was in jail, he performed a miracle and he restored the sight of the blind daughter of his jailer. And the evening before his execution, he wrote a note to this girl who's called Julia. And he signed the note with "Your Valentine." And that is said to be the first ever Valentine's card. Isn't that sweet? Moving on to question number 8. It's a multiple choice question. When did the first handmade paper Valentine cards started? Was it during the Middle Ages? Was it during the Renaissance? Or was it during the 18th century? That's a bit more tricky. Let me repeat. When did the first handmade paper Valentine cards appear? Was it during the Middle Ages? Was it during the Renaissance? Or was it during the 18th century? You've got 20 seconds. That was during the Middle Ages. Because if you remember question number 6, has Valentine's Day always been associated with romantic love? And when I told you that it's only from the 14th century onwards, with Chaucer and Shakespeare, and courtly love, then that gives you a hint for the answer to question number 8. So it's from the Middle Ages that we start seeing those handmade paper cards. The first records that we have are from nobility and royalty, mainly in France. Question number 8. When did we start seeing factory-made cards? Is it the 18th century? Is it the 19th century? Is it the 20th century? When did we start seeing factory-made cards? 18th century, the 19th century, or the 20th century? You've got 15 seconds. That was the early 19th century with the Industrial Revolution, of course. That flooded the market and it became very quickly very, very popular, despite postage being relatively expensive at the time. Prior to that, there is a little anecdote that I wanted to relate to you that I think is fascinating and tells a lot about the British mind. I found that in the late 18th century, so the 1700s, a British publisher issued the Young Man's Valentine Writer. And what it was effectively a cheat sheet of romantic verses to help him when he was unable to compose his own verses. I think it's a wonderful illustration of the entrepreneurial and practical mind of the British at the time. I think as a French person, it says everything. So practical. Why not? And why not? Moving on to question number 10 now. So if we look at how we celebrate Valentine's Day today, it's about sending cards, flowers, little gifts, chocolates. But which country created the modern day tradition of Valentine's Day? I'm not giving you a multiple choice. I'm leaving you to guess which country, and I'm giving you 15 seconds. Did you guess? It's the UK, of course. From that huge popularity in the UK, from the 19th century onwards, then it went on to the US, and In, I think it was pre-war 1913, Hallmark cards started to appear, to the point that it was called, whilst Charles Dickens had termed it Cupid's Manufactory, in the US it was termed Hallmark's Holiday. Interesting, right? So now moving on to question number 11. So the penultimate one. Which are the two countries where it's actually women giving men gifts for Valentine's Day? Which two countries have women giving men gifts for Valentine's Day? I'm going to help you. These two countries are in Southeast Asia, but I'm not giving you more than this information. 15 seconds? Let's try it. I know it was a little bit tricky, but did you guess? Maybe one of the two. First is Japan, and second is South Korea. The gift that women buy for men for Valentine's Day is chocolates. The tradition is not to give flowers or cards or things like that, but chocolates. And interestingly, the women who are working in a corporate environment are expected to actually buy chocolates for all of the men working with them. And there is some kind of a hierarchy of the kind of chocolates that the men receive. And there is also a new marketing campaign that was launched a few years ago by an Asian chocolate manufacturer to mark the 14th of March as the day where men are actually returning the favor and gifting women white chocolates. And now on to our last question, question number 12. What is the most popular type of jewelry that's being bought for Valentine's Day? What's the most popular type of jewelry that's been bought for Valentine's Day? Is it a ring? Is it a necklace? Is it a brooch? Giving you three choices. A ring, a necklace, a brooch. You've got 15 seconds. Did you guess? It was rings, because rings have always had that symbol of commitment and love. It's the second most popular type of jewelry. It's a heart pendant necklace. And the third one, it's couples exchanging matching pieces of jewelry. It's a popular choice to express their unity and partnership. So share in the comments how well you fared, how much you scored. Did you get all of the answers correctly? Did you learn anything? Did you find it interesting? Was there any information that you didn't know that surprised you? I'd love to know. And just to finish off on a little jewelry related note, just showing you my hands, where I'm wearing two rings that are part of my Valentine's selection. So on this hand, it's the heart ring, see, with a heart on the side, and the inside with a little mini torus shape, which is very much an SMG signature. And this, which is a fabulous, fabulous romantic rose ring, which is my take on the Art Nouveau Macintosh style of rose design. You can find those two rings on the website. And we are now at the end of our little weekly catch-up. I hope you've enjoyed that little twist I brought today, and thank you very much for your participation, for taking the time. And let me know in the comments what you thought. Any feedback is welcome. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye for now.